Now we're live. Anyway, welcome. I've played with some of you, if not all of you. So since this is going to be on the YouTube account, I guess I should introduce. This is a game of Unincorporated. It's a setting that I've sort of modified from Bethany Harvey's Weird Little Town, which is a Night Vale-inspired setting. I've made it a little bit more witchy because I was watching a lot of The Craft and Practical Magic and Sabrina. And I was like, what if I just thought about this a lot and tried to ask questions that would maybe lead us toward that setting? We'll see what happens. This is a game that was organized on the Gauntlet online gaming community, which is a community of people who play games online that are leaning towards the indie game, story games, OSR type games. You can find out more about that on gauntlet-rpg.com. Hopefully that was correct. If not, I will make it up in the details below. So why don't we go around and introduce ourselves and what pronouns you use and anything else you want to say. If you have something that you have out there that you want to plug, feel free to go ahead. I will start. I'm Maria. I use she, her pronouns, and I am on Twitter at Yay for Books. And I am going to drink a lot of caffeine, which will maybe slow down the speed of my speaking. We'll find out. Anders, why don't you go next?
Yeah, hello. I'm Anders, he, him. Yeah, I think that's about all you need to know for now.
Marley?
I'm Marley, she, her, streaming from Boston. Hello.
And Kyle.
Hi, I'm Kyle, he, they. That's about it.
Cool. All right. So I've already sort of given the game pitch, which is we are characters in a little town. It's called Unincorporated because small populations not necessarily incorporated into a city or a town or whatever the nomenclature is. So the basic thing is that all our characters are going to be people who have grown up with each other and have a lot of baggage that they have from knowing each other for so long and not really having left the area, though it can be whatever you really want it to be. Maybe you went away and then you came back or something. Before we get super started into the game, I'd like to go over the safety tools that we'll be using. So we'll be using lines and veils. Lines are things that won't show up or exist in the game world. So we won't have that even in character backstory or anything. Veils are things that can exist, but we won't focus on, kind of draw a curtain over it. We'll pan the camera away. And there's also in our front page of our character keeper, which do you all have access to that? There's a little thing for wishes, which are things that you would like to see and things that we would like to try and involve in our game world. So if you all would like to check over the lines and veils and add, and if you need more space, you can just put a comma next to one and add to that row, because I'm not really sure if I can add to this character keeper without making things a little weird. And then when you're done, just type OK in the chat.
Is it the Notes tab or the Setup tab?
Let's do it in the Setup tab, just so it's all in one place.
Okay.
There's multiple places in here, and I'll check back and forth. And just let me know when you are all done and have looked over the lines and veils. Is everyone okay with it? Cool. So just so that we have record, our lines are sexual coercion, cancer, graphic violence, serious drug and alcohol abuse, and domestic abuse. Our veils are sex, suicide, and detailed descriptions of stakes. And wishes are seasonal decoration, which I put there because I don't know what season this is going to be, but seasonal decorations are just fun to have. So in addition to lines and veils, I also like to have another safety tool around called script change, which is basically a way for us to rewind, fast forward, go through a scene slowly in case it's approaching something that maybe we're interested in exploring, but we don't know if it's going to be too much. And so basically script change is like a VCR, a DVR, a Netflix screen, whatever it is that you grew up with. So pause is pause the scene where we are and we'll talk about what's happening. Stop is basically stop and we'll stop what's going on. Rewind, which is we'll go back, and that can be used even if it's just like, wait, I zoned out for a second. What exactly is happening here? Let's clarify that. Fast forward is, okay, so this is getting kind of slow. Let's just move on, and we don't really need to see the details of the scene. Frame by frame is when it's, like I said, getting close to something you are not entirely sure about. We can go slowly through that scene. And I think that is all of the script change rules. The most important thing is if something is happening that you're not sure about, feel free to just like pause what's going on and we can talk about it. And if it's something, am I roboting? Oh no, I will try to turn off my video. You don't need to see me. You can just hear my voice. Well, hope. Oh, that's not me either. That was a different game. Let's just be okay. Let's see. What did you last hear?
I heard it all. You were just breaking up.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And the last safety tool we'll be using is the X card. And this is something where in the heat of the moment, if something is coming up that you really don't want to have in the game, or is just something that causes a problem for you, whether it's something serious or something as like, I know too many people with this name, can we not have that? Just put up an X. If you have your camera on, type in the chat X or just like interrupt what's going on and say you'd like to not have that in the game. We might ask questions to clarify exactly what that is. Enough that we know that we won't have it in again, but if you don't feel like explaining, that's also fine. So those are the tools we have. And if anyone has any questions about them, please let me know or ask in the chat or message me privately. Anything works. All right, now moving closer to the game. I always find like it's helpful to sort of know what kind of tone we're all interested in the game that we're going to play. What are people thinking? This game can be comedic. It can be drama. It can be a mixture of both. So what are you all feeling like?
I would at least like some comedic elements, though we don't have to do just comedy if people would like to also lean into the drama side.
Yeah, I like light-hearted drama. Like it might be serious for the characters, but we don't have to be serious about it.
How like spooky do we want to get? The cats mentioned like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and I was just wondering, are we gonna be like sticking to the old show where it's like not very scary at all, or is it like gonna be spookier?
I think that's up to all of us, because I think I threw that in there because I was thinking it could be sort of like that weird world where there's supernatural stuff happening, but not everyone knows about it, and your people having problems, like normal life problems. I'm open to any. If people want more supernatural stuff, we can do that. And we can all work towards making that happen because this is really all of us working together to create the world that we want. So what do you think, Marley and Anders? More spooky stuff or more light on that?
I'm happy to stay on the lighter side, though I'm open to spookierness if people are really feeling that. But I was feeling more, I was more into the petty goofiness was what I was responding to in RSVP to this game.
Yeah.
So like, I'm really upset about, I need to win the Rose Garden contest.
Yeah.
And I might be very invested in that, but of course, yes, that's all really goofy.
I think the tone-wise, what I was feeling / thinking was sort of like Gilmore Girls with like which is a small town family drama show, with some aspects of like possibly there's like the serious moments. One of the agendas in the game is find the humor in the serious moments and find the angst in the funny moments or something like that. And so kind of finding the middle ground between those tones. But I think as we play, we'll see quite how spooky it can get, and still how funny it can be. So it sounds like mostly lighthearted with a splash of potentially there's something deeper here that's lurking and possibly scary. Maybe?
Sounds good to me.
Sure.
Cool. All right. So now, the game. So basically, character creation and world creation for this game is very much tied in. If you look in the characters tab, everyone pick a column. All you really need are a character, like a name, pronouns, kind of a job possibly in this world that your character will have, or in our town that your character will have. And then as we go through answering questions, we'll figure more out about the relationships between the characters. And then underneath, there's this like row 9. Those are your reputation stats. And those are tied to the matrix on the setup page where it's the jock nerd axis and the prep goth axis. So basically, when you are to the point where you want to figure out like what people think of you in this town, this is not necessarily the truth of your character, but this is what other people think your character is. Basically, pick one of these little boxes here. So like if I were to be here, me, you can highlight over it and it tells you what the stat line is, and you can fill that in on your character sheet. I don't actually want to be that much preppy, I think, yet. Does that make sense so far? Cool.
Do we list our job somewhere in particular, or?
I think you can just put it in notes, or just like, I don't know if there's a place to put your job down. Oh, and another thing too is this ties into safety. There is a potential for romance in the game. So if you would rather not have that, there is a line, it's rows 18 and 19, where you can say yes, no, ask first. And if you want, you can specify probably in your notes, or just tell us whether you want that, like yes with other characters, yes with NPCs, no, etc. Let's see. So what are people thinking their characters' ages are? Like, are we all graduated and working and having a life.
I was thinking Agatha is a mechanic and has an auto repair shop.
Cool.
So old enough that is a reasonable thing for her to have, but other than I am flexible. Seems nice if we were all roughly the same age, because that seems like it would if we all went to school together and have all this history.
Yeah, so we can figure out how old we are probably as we answer the questions that are coming up next. So on the setup tab, there are 3 rows of questions. Each person will answer one question from each row. So I'll answer a people, places, and things question. The answers to these questions will go in our people, places, and things setting details row, which is immediately below that. And those are the people that populate this town and the places that are in this town and the things that are weirdly important in this town. So we'll go through once and then we'll go through again, and that will tie us in a little bit closer to each other. And you can use any of these examples below, combine them, or make up anything on your own to answer these questions.
So are the who questions, are those supposed to be other characters or are those NPCs?
They can be, for now, let's make them other NPCs, people who live in this world. So like, who acts like they have no idea you betrayed them? I can say, I think that's, come up with a random name. That's Nancy, the owner of the diner. And she, let's see, what was the question? Who acts like they have no idea you betrayed them? I think I betrayed her because we were in competition for the spot where my coffee shop is. And I did something, hexed someone potentially to make it so that I got prime real estate and she didn't. And maybe she suspects something, but doesn't let me know that she suspects something. And it's a weird, cold relationship between us, even though our shops are like across the street from each other. Only she gets the one with worse sunlight. So that's like a way to create a person.
So do we take turns or do we do this by ourselves? Or,
We can take turns, yeah. So if anyone else has any ideas for a question they'd like to answer, it can be from any of these 3 rows.
Sure. I'll ask Maria, I guess, or Tillie. Who appears in all of your nightmares and some of your fantasies?
Oh, so you will answer the question yourself.
So I
like,
do
who
that.
appears in, what's your character's name? Who appears in Diane's nightmares and fantasies?
Okay. First thought that comes to mind is like, maybe we have like a spooky mayor or something who like, I don't know, like we never actually see them. They just sort of like, we get letters and emails and stuff, but they never actually make public appearances.
Nice. So you'll enter like, do they even have a name, or are they nameless?
Let's go with Sam, I guess.
All right. Sam the mayor.
So do I do my second question now, or do we do like one each and then go around for our second ones?
Let's do one each for now, so in case there's like people who want to answer the same question, which I don't know if there's anything bad about answering the same question, but Enders and Marley, do you guys have?
Oh, I started with thing. I thought we were
cool.
doing all of them. So, okay.
What is your thing?
My thing is I'm the auto mechanic, but my truck is hexed, and I can't fix it. And it's hexed to only play John Denver music on the radio.
Amazing.
So I have to pretend to really like John Denver, so no one knows that I'm actually having car trouble.
Do you want
not a great look for the auto mechanic?
Could you insert like under things like car that is hexed to play only John Denver on the setup sheet? On the tab.
Ah, okay.
Is this a truck that you've had? Like, how long have you had this truck with this problem?
I think it's like a really old truck of mine that I keep in really amazing working condition. This is just like the one problem it has.
Has it had that since high school? Like,
yeah, I think it's been like, it's been a problem for a long time. And I don't think I actually know who hexed it. Or if it was just some weird freakish thing. But to find out who did it, I have to admit it happened. So, we don't talk about that.
Cool. Anders, do you have an idea?
Yeah, I have a person. I have, let's go with Chad Bozeman. And he was someone I was in a fight with. He still holds a grudge from that fight. We got in a fight in high school over a girl, obviously, because that's how these things go.
Of course.
It wouldn't necessarily have to be a girl, but let's go with a girl. And he was kind of a jock, and I wasn't, but I punched him in the nose, and he's still really angry about that one time I showed him up. And then the girl went with someone completely different. She thought we were both stupid.
What does Chad do now in this town?
Yeah, I don't want him to be just like a washed up jock, but maybe he like runs the like a convenience store that is his dad owns it still, but he's the manager.
Do you think that Chad would answer one of the questions above, like, do you think Chad watches you when you go into the convenience store?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
He thinks I mean, let's see. I'm not sure what the power dynamic would be. I just want to ignore him, and he kind of wants to hassle me a bit, but he can't really do it because I mean, it's a small town. People will get angry if you start messing around too much.
Yeah, it'd be awkward if like the one convenience store has like one person who can't go shopping there. That's business.
Yeah.
Maybe. Cool.
And maybe I have a little bit of pull with someone who's important, so he doesn't quite dare to go after me.
Yeah, like maybe Mayor Sam or Mayor Sam's assistant, who possibly is more visible than not.
Yeah, more likely the assistant than the mayor himself. I don't think I know him either.
All right. I'll answer my second question. Where do I keep hearing slightly mispronounced chanting from somewhere below? I think it's whenever I walk by Chad's convenience store. Like, there's just like weird chanting whenever I walk by that place. And I think I usually try to ignore it because it's Chad. He's a jock. He wasn't one of the people who was into like goth stuff in high school, as far as I know. Why would there be chanting below his convenience store? That's weird. Do you know if his convenience store has a name?
Probably something like Boseman's. I don't know what would be a good Boseman's.
Bits and Bobs.
Yeah, or Bites and Bobs, because they sell food.
Okay, I like that. We'd probably call it Bozeman's B&B for short.
Yeah, so, just the triple B or something.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. So everyone gets to ask and answer another question from the other two columns. So Kyle, if you have a place or a thing, Anders, if you have a place or a thing, and Marley, if you have a place or a person.
I think where did I go to celebrate surviving my 18th birthday? I think I went to the library for just a epic library book binge thing.
Wow. Bertram, you're the librarian. Is this a normal occurrence?
A bit unusual, I would say. But, in a small town, there will always be that one kid who likes to read and hasn't managed to leave town yet.
Was there cake in this library?
I definitely tried to smuggle some cake in.
And what exactly was surviving your 18th birthday? Like, was there something special that was happening on your 18th birthday that you were not sure you would survive? Or was it like, I have made it to my 18th birthday?
I'm going to go with my family has a like mysterious history of vanishing right before our 18th birthday.
Very cool. I wonder if you have, like, if this is a thing that the rest of the town kind of know, like, is rumored, like, watch out for Diane's family. You never know, like, who's next.
That sounds fun.
What is this drive-in in the woods?
That is my first job out of high school.
Ooh.
Or I worked at the drive-in until I discovered that the boss was selling pixie dust, and that stuff will just mess you up.
Is this creepy. Like is pixie dust like, what is that?
Yeah, I thought we had a line over.
We have a line on
drug abuse.
Drug. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not seeing it in the list, so did it accidentally get deleted?
Oh, it accidentally went away. I don't know why. Add it back in. So is pixie dust something that's
Is it something that, so we have a line about addiction and stuff like that? Okay, so let's say it is, it's a really good way to cram for tests. So you take it and you can memorize anything for 24 hours, but then you lose the last 2 days.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it's like that thing that makes you super lucky.
It's this weird fairy bargain in a tube kind of stuff.
Okay, that's actually really cool. All right. I will, let's see. Who am I? I have to remember who my character is because I don't know that much about her yet. She's Tillie and she owns the coffee shop. I think okay, so what harmless looking object do you use as a weapon when needed? I think Tillie owns some knitting needles, which I guess depending on how you look at them, knitting needles look harmless, but they're also, you know, they're still sticks. And I think she has not needed to use them yet, but it's that thing where sometimes if she's walking home past the convenience store with the creepy Channing, she will hold on to them a little bit tighter and possibly start whistling a song that she remembers from her childhood. And I think these are maybe like enchanted knitting needles that were like her grandma's or something. Yeah, she's never actually used them, so I don't know what they do if you stab someone with them, but they're there just in case.
Have we all done 2?
I think I've done 3.
Okay.
Marley's done 2.
I've only done one. I think I want to do where did you bury your doppelganger? Because that sounds like fun. And I think I dumped the body in the lake. And yeah, I don't know anything else about it right now. I know I had a doppelganger and I dumped the body in the lake. That's about it for now.
Love the slightly ominous lake. Did you kill your doppelganger? Like, are you sure it's dead and still in the lake? Or is this something we'll find out?
Yeah, we will find out. I'm not 100% sure because I'm not 100% sure how doppelgangers work.
You can make it up.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, if you can change your shape to look like someone else, you can maybe do other strange stuff.
Okay.
For the question, what do you refuse to admit you have? I think my family has a old spell book that talks and is always trying to urge me to do more evil magic, like, oh, the coworker's annoying, hex their spreadsheets, that sort of thing.
That's so good. Do you carry this book with you, or do you keep it somewhere?
I try to keep it at home, but I think it has a habit of just showing up places somehow.
All right.
I know I know what thing I want. What did you buy with the roll of blood spattered money you found in your pocket? And this is probably after I killed the doppelganger. I find this money in my pocket. And now I'm not sure if I was the doppelganger or if the doppelganger was the doppelganger, because I don't remember getting this money. And I think it was quite a substantial sum. So I bought a house.
Wow.
Like a spooky, dilapidated old house that I have kind of, sort of restored enough that you can live in it. So I bought it cheap, but yeah, it was still a house.
Nice. A librarian that lives in a creepy house. And then this person that is here in this list.
Right. So apparently Agatha had this moment where there she was, about hearing weird noises from her shower, and it was Amelia Earhart, who of course appeared in the 30s, I believe, flying solo across the Atlantic. So Amelia Earhart lives in our town now.
Does Amelia Earhart come out of Amelia's shower, or is it she only in the shower?
I'm assuming that she came out and she was this person that you could have coffee with now if you want to.
All right.
Because I thought that was kind of amusing, but I also like the idea of the shower haunted by the spirit of Amelia Earhart.
Whatever you want it to be.
I don't know. Does everyone else want to talk to Amelia Earhart? If so, we should probably let her come out of the shower.
She can come out of the shower.
Okay, yeah. So she just lives in the town now.
Does she live with you?
She probably does for now because I think this happened recently.
All right.
And possibly she can't. Maybe she can't leave the town.
Ooh, like there are town boundaries she can't cross.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Okay, so we've all answered one of these questions once. So in the new version of the rules that I have, it says to go around one more time, and we choose one question from any of the lists, but we don't create a new setting detail, and we answer this question using one of the already been created people, places, or things to sort of tie us into our little town with all of its weird people more. So, like, for example, I guess I could say, who appears in all of my nightmares and some of my fantasies? Amelia Earhart. Like, maybe Tillie has started having weird dreams about Amelia Earhart. Like, really weird dreams. So it's really creepy when Amelia Earhart, like, walks in through the coffee shop door one day, probably.
So I think that Agatha found that tunnel underneath the school gym, and it leads to the lake. Except it's extra weird because it actually goes under the lake, and then it has a transparent ceiling, so you can actually look up and see
so cool.
what people have, like anything that's like dropped to the bottom. She has not yet noticed the body, but you know. I wasn't clear if the body was sunk or if it was actually buried, but
we'll find out. All right.
I have an idea for mine. Where was your first job until you found out what your boss was really selling? I think this was at the Triple B. This was before the fight. Until I found out, and that's when Chad's father was still he was still running it, but I found out he was selling pixie dust.
Ooh.
Since then, it's moved. The trade has moved, but back then he was the supplier.
I wonder if we have a friend that's a pixie or something.
For me, who acts like they have no idea you betrayed them? I think it's Amelia Earhart.
How did you betray Amelia Earhart?
I think my family had some sort of like generational grudge with the Earhart family, and we like cursed her or something.
Amazing. All right. Cool.
I'm so glad I decided to bring Amelia Earhart into this game. She is the gift that keeps on giving.
I'm very excited for Amelia Earhart. Okay, so now we have created more of these characters, places, and things that are in this world. The way this game works is that as we play our scenes out, there's not a GM, there's a facilitator. That's what I am. We all can like take up the role of the secondary character. So, for example, like Diane and Bertram are having a scene, and someone needs to be Amelia Earhart. Someone will play Amelia Earhart. So it's all very, very loose. We get to be the characters who are needed to be there, and if we need to create someone, we can just create someone. So before, I think we have one more thing that we can do, and then we'll take our first break. The next thing is that we need to pick our plots. We will each pick one plot. So they're on the right-hand column. So there are A plots and B plots. The difference is that A plots are a little bit more complicated, and they involve they have two-person blanks, and one of those blanks needs to be filled by a PC. So if I were to pick one, I'd have to pick one of the other player characters, and the other person blank could be an NPC. B plots are slightly less convoluted, apparently, and these are plots that are just, hopefully we can resolve it in a session or so. And plots are basically things that your character is working towards, their goals. And if you ever get stuck on like, I need a thing to do, well, I can approach my plot. And you fill these blanks in with people or places or things from the setting details that we've created. Or if you need to create a new one, that will also work. Did that make any sense? Okay.
So the people, these are other PCs?
If you're choosing an A plot, it should be at least one other PC. If you're choosing a B plot, it could be an NPC. I'll just remove one of our A plots too, unless we can rewrite it so it doesn't cross line.
So we're each picking one of these?
Yep, so pick one plot. It can be an A plot or a B plot.
Yeah, I was the one who put up the line on serious drug alcohol abuse, and just maybe someone else put it up as wants it there as well, but I just don't want the grimy bad real world type of thing. I think this would be fine with me, this plot.
Right.
As long as it's, I mean, if someone's addicted to pixie dust, that's fine.
I will uncross it out. Oh man, I just saw a B plot got chosen. Guessing that's you, Agatha?
Yeah. Amelia Earhart. It sounds really cool, but she's doing these weird rituals, and I just need her to find her own place. I understand she's very frustrated about being trapped in town, and her ritual to try and escape makes perfect sense. I identify with it, but it's just a little too much chanting and screaming in the middle of the night. I just no.
What place do you think she should move it to? Think the lake, maybe?
Either the lake or the drive-in. Those are both pretty remote. All the chanting you want, either of those places? Yeah, let's just do the lake. That's where all your shifty stuff happens.
There's definitely not going to be a side effect to weird chanting at the lake.
Of course not.
So the drive-in, is that a drive-in movie theater or a drive-in something else?
Oh yeah. So drive-in, the drive-in movie theater. So you sit there with your car in the audience, and there's a big screen up in front.
I just wasn't sure if that's what it was, or if it was
drive-in restaurant.
In grad school, there was a drive-in in town that was across from an old prison. It was excellent ambiance.
Yeah. Oh wow, who picked You Once Made a Binding Promise?
That's me. And I was thinking this was me and Diane. If that's okay with you, Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now I need to be in the right spot. I'm flipping between tabs. Yeah, and I think we made this promise at the drive-in, because I assume we did this when we were fairly young, and that was a cool place to hang out back then.
That sounds good.
Who do you think has been meddling with you?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, we can't have Amelia Earhart in every plot.
My thought was maybe Mayor Sam was trying to stop us from rising in power.
Yeah,
Very
that's
cool.
Yeah, he wants to keep all the power for himself.
Yeah. I think I picked the B plot. You keep having dreams that you are pretty sure belong to someone else. Person 1. I might pick. I don't know. Do any of the players want to volunteer their character for this?
Do you want to have weird dreams that sometimes involve Amelia Earhart and coffee?
Sure, that sounds good.
All right. What else would make you know that these dreams are mine?
It could just be like you look in the mirror in the dream or something.
Oh yeah, yeah, that too. You get the sense that they are harboring some weird feelings about.
About person 2. Do you want to pick another NPC or another PC, or you could just do Amelia Earhart if you want.
It's true. You could also make it. What if it's like you get the sense that they're having weird feelings about Agatha? Like maybe Agatha and Amelia both show up in Tillie's dreams, and it's unclear which one shows up more.
That sounds fun.
If that's okay with you, Marley?
And the dreams all revolve around the lake. I think the lake sounds fun.
All right. Cool. Oh, I guess it's me. I have to pick one now. Do I? Yeah. I'll say I've been getting mysterious threats. Person 1 and their small army of woodland creatures have offered to protect me, but only if I give them something, which belongs to someone else. First of all, okay, who has a small army of woodland creatures? Does anyone want to volunteer to have a small army of woodland creatures, or should I make this an NPC who has a small army of woodland creatures?
feels a little out of character for Agatha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it might be fun for an NPC, like the Nancy
Alright.
who.
My enemy Nancy, who pretends that she doesn't know that I betrayed her. Yeah. Excellent.
Oh, I'll protect you. Just follow me out here into the forest with all the squirrels and possums, and you'll be perfectly safe.
Also, bring me that talking spell book, which belongs to Diane. That's definitely going to be easy to do, right?
Sounds great.
So I picked the one with. I'm still going on about Chad and Bozeman's. He warned me to stay away from there, but as soon as he left, he sent me an urgent message asking me to come to that place immediately. So I'm worried about more doppelgangers, of course.
Oh no. Did you pick 2 plots? Or
That was weren't we supposed to pick one A plot and one B plot?
it's one A plot or B plot.
Ah, okay. Then, sorry. Then I'll just ignore that one. I picked an A plot.
I mean, that could also be a thing that happens.
Yeah, no, I just misunderstood.
Okay, cool. So I think we now have things that our characters are working for. We have characters mostly. We have a town. We have our NPCs. Is there anything else that we need? I don't think there is. Does anyone have any questions so far? All right. So why don't we take a 10-minute break until 15 after the hour? And then we'll come back and start seeing what trouble these characters will get into, which is a lot, apparently.
All right.
See you.
Bye.
I am back. If anyone else is there. It's a good thing my camera's off because I just spilled coffee. Anyway. Cool. All right. Everyone is back. So before we jump in right away, I will briefly explain how playing the game works. So basically everyone takes turns setting up scenes involving themselves and another player character or just another secondary character. The scene goes on until you do something that might be hard to do, or if you just want to inject some randomness into the game, and then you will roll. And you'll be rolling using your different reputation stats. So like if you're doing something physical like throwing a body into a lake, that would be jock. If you're doing something smart like looking things up in the library, probably nerd. Since we're all possibly slightly magic-y, we might be using goth a lot, which is to do things that are supernatural, creative. And social is for when you have, like maybe you're trying to convince someone to do something. If you're trying to talk to the mayor or something like that, that would be when you would use social. So basically how you roll, it's a 2d6. And however you roll the dice, there are different dice roll results. You can always make that better by spending a token, if you have tokens. And you can earn a token by moving that dice roll to make it less of a success. And the results are basically, if you succeed with a 10 plus, you get to choose the outcome. If it's a partial success, every other player gets to offer complication, kind of like a devil's bargain. Like, yeah, it works, but here's this other thing that you could that might happen to you, and you can choose one of those or combine them all. And then if it's a miss, someone who's not involved in the action, say like it's a scene with 3 people, the person who is less involved will say how something makes the situation worse. And then, yeah, so tokens are basically ways to change your results, change your reputation. You earn them by making your result less good, picking a new plot, I think. If you want to involve another character's plot or eventually a journal entry, you can earn a token, and you can spend them to increase your dice roll results or shift your reputation. So it's all kind of in the little left-hand column of the spreadsheet. And there is a dice roller attached to the character sheet for when we eventually need to roll dice. So, yeah, I guess the first thing we should do is figure out what scenes you want to see first. We have a lot of problems that we should address, possibly. Does anyone have have a scene that they really want to do right off the bat? Or, let's see. I can imagine doing a scene with Diane, trying to get this plot rolling. Let's figure out how to get that talking book from you.
Sounds good to me.
Where do we want to have this meeting? Where would I find Diane? Okay.
I probably go to your coffee shop a lot.
Yeah. So you're a regular here?
I think so, yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, what's your normal order?
Big cup of black coffee. Very boring.
All right. Right. Yeah. Tillie is, I think Tillie's got an apron on. Tillie is working behind the counter today. I don't think she normally does all the time. She has a little tray. It has your giant cup of black coffee, but there's a little cake on the side. It is the second fanciest cake that the coffee shop sells. We may buy it from our neighbor, the diner, because we don't bake cakes on our own. But I think Tillie's going to walk up to Diane and say, Diane.
Oh, hi, Tillie. Yes.
Here's your order.
Thank you. I don't think I ordered a cake, though.
Oh, it's a special. It's on us today and tomorrow and every time you come here. You're a good friend, right, Diane?
I like to think so. Is there something I can help you with?
No, I mean, yes. I mean, you know Nancy?
Yes?
She's been asking a lot of questions recently.
Questions about what?
About you and your family.
Uh-huh.
And she seems to be super fascinated by the mystery surrounding you all.
I suppose a few stories have cropped up with the, mysterious disappearances and all that.
Is it true that you have a book that talks?
What? No, why would you even ask that? It's such a ridiculous question. I don't have anything like that.
Well, because Nancy, one of the days when I was over there just getting some cake and some stuff, you know how she is, she just was talking about how interesting it is that you spend so much time at the library, and she was wondering, like, why would you spend so much time at the library if you have all those books at home? And then somehow she was like, oh, but I've heard that Diane has this book that talks.
Can I roll to try to convince you that I genuinely don't know what you're talking about?
Yeah, go ahead. So if you go on the little tab thing, if you select your character's name, it should roll with your stat. So you just like check one of the boxes below it.
Right, so this is social, so I'd be rolling prep, right?
Yep. It looks like it worked.
Got a 13.
So that's 13. Yeah. All right. So you can keep it and choose the outcome, or you can make it less good and we will give you some complications. But you'll earn a token.
Yeah, I'm going to earn a token by making it worse.
Okay, so the way this works is that every player gets to suggest a complication. So you successfully can convince Tillie that there's no talking, that you don't own a talking spell book, but something else happens. Like here, and these are suggestions and you can pick which one you want. So my suggestion is that as you're saying this and Tillie is being convinced, there's just a weird voice that emerges from your bag that says, she's lying.
That sounds fun. Yeah.
Anders and Marley, do y'all have other complication suggestions?
We could also do the spell book is now deeply offended that you denied that it existed. And is now actively trying to make your life harder in some fashion, possibly by talking, possibly by, it does this thing where it's like pretending or something like that so it can talk to you without blowing your cover or something like that. It says things like ring ring. I don't know.
That sounds pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, I think those two are good options. I don't think I have anything good to add.
I think I'm gonna go with the book is angry at me now.
Cool. Does it do anything right now, or is it just going to seethe?
I think it's just gonna like seethe and make trouble for me later.
All right, cool. Yeah. So I think Tillie was just going to fiddle with the cake and say, okay. I mean, I'm sure Nancy was probably coming up with this from some silly thing she heard at, I don't know, the Triple B. She just gets these ideas places. If you ever hear about a talking book, though, you let me know, right, Diane?
Oh, of course, you'll be the first one I tell.
Thanks. It's just would love to know more about it. Enjoy your cake. Tell me if the flavor's not what you want in the future.
All right.
Cool. Probably seen there. All right. Does anyone else have a scene they want to do?
I mean, I want to do a scene. I'm just having trouble thinking of topics.
We could see what Agatha and Amelia Earhart look like together.
So how does that work? Does one of you play Amelia Earhart then?
Yeah. Who wants to be Amelia Earhart?
I can do that.
All right.
Okay.
I think. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So what kind of situation would you like to see?
So I think Agatha is getting up and she has not slept well because Amelia has been doing her midnight rituals to try and break whatever is binding her to the town. And it's very loud. And I think Agatha finally wants to talk to her about it and is trying to decide how to do that. So let's say she's wakes up and she's very groggy with her bed head and still in the pajamas and everything, and wanders into the kitchen and looks for coffee.
Yeah, and the kitchen is a complete mess because Amelia has been preparing ingredients for her ritual. So there's like I don't know if this is too gross, but like there remains of some small animal or something, and maybe she's burned incense, and there's like some weird plants, leaves from some weird plants. She's just they're just everywhere because she just wanted part of it, and you know she's made a huge mess. The food processor is a complete mess because she made some weird potion or something in it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's probably something strange in the coffee maker as well.
So Agatha is willing to forgive most of the mess until she realizes that Amelia has screwed with a coffee pot. And that cannot be borne. And so she goes, "Ah! Amelia, are you up yet?"
What? Yes, I'm. In fact, I'm still up.
You're still up. Okay, what happened to the kitchen? I would ask if we've been robbed, except it looks like there's more than when we started.
Oh, I just had to prepare a few things for this ritual. Terribly sorry. I'll clean it up later. But I'm in the middle of something here now. I'm at a breakthrough point.
Breakthrough. Oh, breakthrough to breakthrough. Yeah. How's it going?
Sorry, I think you're. I didn't quite catch that.
Oh, how's it going?
Yes, I just need to attune these circles to the ley lines through the town, and I've almost got it.
Oh, a good place for attuning ley lines is the lake. There's all kinds of good mojo at the lake.
Oh, really?
Maybe that's why you're having all these troubles. I mean, my living room isn't really set up to be magically attuned. That's not really the thing I do. But if you went someplace that was more magical, then you'd probably be more successful, right?
This sounds a bit like you're making a roll to convince her.
Sure. How do I roll to convince her? I do that little.
So you go to your character's thing. Yeah, pick your name.
Oh, I don't see names.
Under. Well, let's see. Oh no! Why did it? It's weird. It was working fine. Oh, there they are. And then it should be prep, which you have 0 in.
Okay.
And then just click one of the dots below it. That's 9. So you have 1 token and can spend that to make it a success and choose the outcome. Or we can do the thing where we go around and each player will suggest a complication.
Complications sound more fun, even though I have a token.
Complications are pretty great. And so you'll gain another token. And the rest of us will think of some complication.
Yeah, I think Amelia would be willing to go down and do her ritual by the lake, but you'd have to assist her because it's a 2-person ritual, and she'd need some help. Unless that's too much of a. I mean, I don't want to negate your success, so maybe that's too much.
Oh, I thought everyone made suggestions on complications. So that could be your
thinking.
Yeah, that was meant as my suggestion. I just didn't want to do too big a thing. So maybe, yeah, I'll let the others jump in with theirs and see if I can think of something better.
I kind of like that one. I think Amelia, yes, will be convinced to move it to the lake, but then I think you will have to maybe I think she'll insist that it has to be done in the lake. So you'll either have to find a boat or actually just tread water in the middle of the lake. But she has this insistence that yes, the lake's a good place, but the center of the lake is the most powerful part of the lake. Which maybe the tunnel will work for that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe the complication is that the lake is too public, so you'll have to distract people while she does the ritual?
Kind of like that too. Huh. I mean, the distraction angle is good because that can pull other people into the scene. So how about we go with, okay, Amelia is convinced that we can go to the lake and do it at the lake, but she's being very particular about it. Yeah, not be disturbed. I'm wondering if there's something about it that would make people want to interrupt her or something like that, that she needs to be, that being disturbed is a problem.
I was like, what if the ritual looks like synchronized swimming? That's all I can think.
Okay, that could be fun. A little goofier too. Yeah. So it has to be done in the middle of the lake, and it's, and Agatha has to help her because, there's clearly Agatha is some important part of the ritual because it was her shower. But like, there's that water connection of the shower. So like, yes, we get talks her into it, but like, yeah, it's going to be this whole big production at the lake, and I still haven't had my coffee.
There is a coffee shop in town. Just, drumming up some business.
That's her next stop.
Cool. So let's cut from Agatha and Amelia. We haven't seen Bertram yet. Mm-hmm. What is Bertram's morning looking like?
Yeah, I mean, it's a small town library. They don't open right in the morning, so he has a fairly lazy morning. So I think he goes to the coffee shop to get his coffee, and then he has breakfast at the diner. I think that's his typical morning ritual. So I guess Tillie is the one who has the coffee shop.
Yep.
So I guess
and Nancy is the one with the diner.
Yeah. So I guess maybe seeing Tillie first.
Sure. Tillie is at the cashier's place, at the counter. Are you getting a to go or to stay in the coffee shop?
Yeah, I think he's doing this obnoxious thing. He's buying his coffee here and bringing it to the diner, and ordering everything but coffee at the diner. So yes. Good morning. I'd like my usual the double tall dark roast. You know the one, the Brazilian.
Yeah, I know. But how am I ever going to convince you to just take the rest of your meal here, Bertram? I'm a small business too. Nancy's a small business, but you seem to spend more money at Nancy's place.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry that I choose for myself where I have my breakfast.
Because you can do whatever you want. I hope you like this coffee, though.
Yes, it's excellent. Much better than the swill they serve over at the diner.
Well, that's what I like to hear.
Yes, but their bacon, it's divine.
I honestly don't know why Nancy serves bacon. I thought she got along really well with other animals.
Well, everyone's got to eat.
I suppose. Anything interesting happening in that library of yours?
Not particularly, but we did receive some some interesting back issues of some magazines from the early 1970s. I've been perusing them in my spare time. There's very interesting articles about the oil crisis and whatnot.
The oil crisis from multiple decades ago.
Yes, yes. Very, very important political implications, you know.
Do you happen to know if you have any talking books in the library?
Any talking books? I mean, we have these. We have audiobooks nowadays. You can loan them via the computer home page thing.
Well, no, like books that talk to you when you open them.
What,
I don't
like
know.
children's books?
I think it's supposed to be a more adult book, but you should ask Nancy what kind of book. Probably. She just said talking spell book.
A talking spell book? I've never heard of anything so ludicrous.
You're friends with Diane, right?
Oh yes, yes. Yeah, me and Diane, we go way back. Well, what's she got to do with this talking book?
Well, her family's weird and stuff. Maybe, and she spends all that time there at the library, so maybe I don't know. She said she didn't have a spell book or a talking spell book.
No, I can't see why she would have, but I mean, I can ask her.
That'd be great. Maybe she'll have a different answer for someone that's not me. For someone she eats cake with more often every year. I don't know. Did she just eat their cake there that one year?
Maybe, probably. Yeah, I think she has cake in there sometimes. I don't mind this. I'm just happy someone comes to visit the library.
Does no one else visit the library?
I mean, yeah, some people do, but not that many. I mean, it's just between you and me. It's a bit strange that the city keeps paying for it with as few visitors as we get. But I guess the mayor likes to spread some education and knowledge and that sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think I remember seeing the mayor's posters about education and literacy.
Oh yes,
all
yes.
over the place.
Yeah, we get a lot of those in the post. I don't know if it's Diane wouldn't tell me who sends them to us, but I'm sure it's all yes, it's for the greater good, you know.
Yes. Well, if you ever think that a marketing thing between the library and my coffee shop would work, I can see if I can send some customers, readers in your direction, and maybe you can send some revenue in my direction. We can make this work.
Oh, yes, that would be interesting. Yes, I'll consider that. I'll bring it up with Diane. Maybe she can try it out on the mayor, see what he thinks.
So you're gonna get your bacon?
Yes, of course. I guess it's time for that now. Yes, thank you. And I guess I just go over to the diner. I'm not sure if anything interesting will happen there.
Could you be meeting Diane at the diner, maybe?
Quite possibly.
Or rising in power plotting reasons?
That would work for me.
Yeah, sure.
Does Diane also eat breakfast at the diner? Get coffee at the coffee shop?
Yeah, probably.
Got it.
So I guess they're meeting in like a booth in the back somewhere, so they can plot in peace.
Sounds good. Yeah, I think as soon as Diane sees you, she's just gonna be like, Bertram, do you know anything about the lake?
Oh, hello. What about the lake? No, I don't know anything about the lake. It's a lake.
I think something strange might have gone down at the lake, or maybe it will go down there.
I can't imagine anything strange happening at the lake. That would be no. Probably. Who told you that?
Oh, I think I've been getting some of Tillie's dreams, and they're all about Agatha and the lake, and I think something's going to happen there.
Dreams? No, that sounds that sounds ridiculous. You should ignore it. You should never go to the lake.
I think I'm going to try to roll to figure out what you're hiding.
Yeah, that sounds completely reasonable. So is that
I think it's a prep roll. I got a 8.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it. I realize you're lying, but there are some complications.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's obvious that I'm hiding something. You can probably figure out that it's something that happened before, but maybe not exactly what it is, but that I'm hiding something I did at the lake or something I know about the lake. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out some suitable way to let enough of it slip without everything. Yeah, or maybe I talk about like, oh, you shouldn't go on the east side of the lake where with all the what do you call it, rushes, or like the in the that's it's very very wet ground there. You can get stuck and lose a shoe or something. Just stick to the west side of the lake. That's firm ground there. Much better.
All right, Bertram. I'll keep that in mind. How are things going with you?
A bit slow, I think. And he conspicuously looks around. I thought we would have advanced further by now.
Yes, I think it's that someone's interfering with our plans. I think Mayor Sam is trying to stop us.
Oh, that would be just like him. I assume it would be just like him. I've never actually met him. Have you met him?
No, and I've been checking the records. I don't think he's ever appeared in public.
That's terribly strange. I mean, I just sort of assumed that he'd stick to the office, and I just never happened to run into him. But if it's never been in public, that's terribly strange. Yes, maybe we should investigate him a bit closer. You're muted.
Absolutely, yeah. We should do that.
I could check the town records. They're just across from the library. See if I can find something there.
That would be good. Yeah, we need to dig into this, see what Sam's trying to do.
Yes, maybe you can ask the other municipal employees or whatnot.
I'll do that.
Yeah, I think
that's
over there.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's see. What if I kind of want to see Agatha and Tillie in a scene? Maybe.
Agatha can absolutely be rolling in for coffee.
Oh, right, because you no longer have
a
coffee machine.
No longer have a functional coffee pot.
Is Amelia coming with you?
Would you like her to?
That could be fun.
Okay.
The two of you show up at the coffee shop, which is probably like empty since everyone has gotten their coffee and left, apparently.
Yeah, and Agatha is looking worse for wear. She managed her shower, but her hair is still wet, and she's just like really visibly exhausted. And perhaps Amelia is talking about all these different plans that she has and various things. Agatha rolls up to the counter and is like, "Morning to." Sorry. Good morning. Could I have a vat of your strongest whatever you sell?
Yeah. Tillie is going to pour coffee and just stare at Amelia.
Yeah. Also, do you know where I can borrow scuba gear?
In this town? I feel like the Triple B.
Do they have scuba gear?
Everything, I think. Is that your roommate? Does she want coffee too?
Yeah, have you not met Amelia yet? Amelia!
Yes, what is it now?
Did you want coffee? And this Tillie. Tillie, Amelia, Tillie.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Really familiar.
Oh, I just have one of those faces. But some coffee would be nice indeed. Yes, thank you.
Tillie is just going to push over like 2 overfull mugs of coffee. And the carafe or carafe, however you say that. Help yourselves. What do you need a scuba gear for?
Do you want to explain this?
Oh, we're just doing this little project down by the lake. An art project, you might say, maybe.
An art project. I didn't know you were into art, Agatha.
Oh, I'm not. This is all Amelia. Takes a strong, a big swig of her coffee.
Are you?
It's kind of a spiritual thing. The atmosphere at the lake is terribly enchanting, especially with the full moon. I believe there's a full moon tonight. Yes.
Checks on phone app. Yes. Is this a thing that other people can come watch? I can make you hot chocolate.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Oh, great. I'll be there. You said at the lake?
Yes.
When are we doing this? Do we really have to do this at midnight?
Yes, of course. Otherwise, it won't work at all.
Okay, midnight it is.
Midnight dance art. Midnight art at the lake. Agatha, you've really changed.
Like I said, it's all Amelia.
So are you? Does like the finger thing. Are you a couple then?
No.
Oh heavens, no.
Just housemates, just roommates.
Oh, okay. I was just, since you're having such strong influences on each other already.
No. Agatha's just being a terribly gracious host and assisting me with my little project.
Yes. Gracious, that is me.
I think I want to try and I'm gonna look at Amelia. I think I've been staring at Amelia like this entire time, and I think I want to like use my goth stat to like try and feel her vibes, essentially, like figure out what exactly this secret art project is from her and see if it's like more mysterious than it sounds. So I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna fail because this is like a -1, I think.
But the complications will be fascinating.
Oh yes. Okay, so that was a 4. Yeah. So the player who's not involved in the action decides how it makes the situation worse, which I think is Kyle. So how does me staring and basically using my magical feelings, what makes this a worse situation?
Huh. Well, you've been getting mysterious threats. No, maybe. I don't know. Maybe like reaching out with your magic triggers whatever the threat was. Some sort of, I don't know, curse or something.
That's cool. Let's see. Wonder what these threats are about. I wonder if these threats are like, if you don't do as I say and follow these instructions, you will be replaced. Like maybe as I'm staring at Amelia, I see out of my peripheral vision someone that looks very much like me walking past the open window of the coffee shop, like someone is making doppelgangers. Maybe it's the same one or a different doppelganger that was just like in the town, and I see their face in the window, and that like breaks me out of attempting to figure out what's going on with Amelia. Okay. What else do you want to see happen in this coffee shop scene with Agatha?
Yeah, she was mostly she mostly needed coffee was her agenda. And of course wanted to see the three of them together was cute.
Yeah. Do you want to take a second break and then come back and see, like, move along and see what happens getting closer to the lake time?
Sure.
Or
It turns into this thing, and I think Agatha is going to openly go look for scuba equipment, which could be a thing that Diane and Bertram might be interested in.
Yeah. All right, let's take 10 minutes again.
Okay.
And we'll come back at 11:10-ish, and then we'll go and see what happens with a lake.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yep. Cool. It looks like we are all back. All right. So Agatha has to find some scuba gear and other such accoutrement for the art project in the lake. Do you want to see that scene? And possibly draw in Bertram and Diane, wherever this is? You are muted, unless I can't hear you.
Okay, so Agatha, and so things don't get weird with Anders playing two people, we will declare that Amelia has gone off to do Amelia things. And so yeah, Agatha rolls into the Triple B because fundamentally that's where you go in this town. And she's browsing the aisles and she's like, I have never seen any scuba equipment here. Why would they have scuba equipment? So finally she will go up to Chad, I believe his name is, and say, hey Chad, I'm looking for some scuba gear. That anything you could carry or could get your hands on?
I guess I'll be Chad, yeah, if Bertram and Diane might show up. Bertram or Chad looks Agatha up and down and say, what do you want scuba gear for?
For scuba diving? You got it or not?
Yeah, it's in the special aisle. I gotta go downstairs to grab it.
Okay.
You just hang around here. Try not to get into too much trouble. We got cameras watching.
Oh, darn. It's gonna raid your penny candy.
Yeah, that stuff's been there for ages. I would not.
Yeah. No one's touching your penny candy for excellent reason. You might want to replace it with something else. Anyway, scuba gear.
Yeah, just wait here. I'll be right back. There's probably like a weird crescendo and some strange chanting you hear as Chad goes down like stairs. You don't know where the stairs are. You just see him go down somewhere.
Well, this will clearly all end well. Agatha will dawdle and look at the magazines, which probably have the expected and the unexpected titles. Says here Amelia Earhart's still alive. I grab a copy of that one. It'll probably give her a kick. Would anyone like to wander into the scene?
Diane, maybe? I feel like I've been in almost every scene, so.
Sure, I'll wander in. Let's see. I don't think I have a connection to Boseman, but
it's the corner store.
Yeah.
Doesn't take much to. You needed some aspirin or something.
Yes, I think when I see you, I'm just like, oh, Agatha, nice to meet you, or see you. How are things going with you and Tillie?
Me and Tillie?
Yes.
She seems fine. She sold me coffee. So that's an excellent arrangement all around.
That's great. Always. No, that's Tillie, you know. Just everything normal with her. You know, nothing mysterious happening at the lake or anything.
Oh. Funny you should mention the lake. Yeah, we're doing this thing at the lake. Amelia is, and I'm helping night at the lake. Around midnight, I guess. She seems very clear on the fact that it needs to be midnight.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Tell me more.
Yeah, it's really Amelia's thing, so I'm kind of letting her explain it. I don't really get it, but it seems really important, and she keeps trying to do these projects in the kitchen, and she ruined the coffee maker, and so I'm just glad it's like out of the house now. So if she wants to do crazy things at midnight at the lake, then that is miles better than crazy things anytime in my living room.
But how is Tillie involved in this ritual of yours?
She's not.
Huh.
We told her about it, and she said she'd swing by. It sounded weird. She's going to bring hot chocolate, I think.
Okay. I think I'm going to try to reach out with my magical senses to see if there's any sort of mystical connection between Agatha and Tillie, because I'm still fixated on the whole dream thing. So I guess that's a goth roll.
Yep.
I love this system has goth rolls.
Yes, that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, I got a 9.
Nice. So success, but each player suggests a complication.
Actually, I think I'm going to take a token to bump that down to a failure.
Oh no. Okay.
Everyone's failing at trying to read Agatha's situation.
Yeah. So the player who is not involved in the action decides how it makes the situation worse. I'm going to say that Anders, because this is stuff involving Tillie's character, or my character. So Anders, you are less involved in this situation than I am. Unless you'd like to argue back and make me make sense.
No, it's fine. I think, you're trying to reach out with your magic sense, and we've got that weird chanting in the basement. So I think maybe instead of finding anything out about the connection there, you just see this vision of people in, in typical cult hooded cloaks, but they're from the material you'd use for a Walmart greeters uniform sort of thing, really shiny, cheap material, and in not and in maybe kind of a pale blue with a white trim instead of scary black or red or something. And they have little name tags on the
Amazing.
on the cloaks. But they're standing in a circle and chanting, and you just get these flashes, and it kind of distorts your attempt to detect something with your magic.
Yeah, I think I get overwhelmed by the visions of, I don't know, corporate magic or whatever. And I'm just gonna mumble some excuses and run out of the building. But just because I want to make things even worse for myself, I think my talking spellbook will fall out of my bag and stay behind.
Nice. As you're running out the building, I think Chad, the chanting gets loud again as Chad opens the door and shows up behind or in front of Agatha and holds up 2 weird scuba suits that are like that bright Walmart blue. And says, here, you wanted 2? I don't know if you said you wanted 2, but you're getting 2.
2 it is. Okay.
That'll be $66.06.
Okay. Do you take Visa or PayPal or something?
Yeah, just swipe the card.
Okay.
Your friend left something there.
Which friend?
The one who was here when I was not here.
Oh, Diane? Why are you saying your friend? Why don't you just say Diane?
Oh,
like we
sorry.
I'll go to school together.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the work atmosphere gets to you sometimes.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, book. All right. I guess I'll take it to her next time I see her, unless she flees into the night again. Has she been overworked or something? I don't know what. That was all very strange. Okay. Well,
I don't
take
know.
it easy, Chad.
Take care, Agatha.
Mm-hmm.
Try not to get in too much trouble outside.
Yeah, we're past that. See you later. And Agatha just sort of rolls on out with a amazing talking spell book and 2 hastily enchanted scuba suits.
So since we have like 38 minutes left in this session, do we want to sort of fast forward through the day to get to midnight, or are there other things people want to do between day and midnight?
I want to see the ritual.
Cool. Mm-hmm. And Marley, are you here next week or just this week?
I'm not. So, yeah, it's a little iffy. That's why I didn't register. Yeah. I'm actually going out of town, and I'm a little unclear on my schedule that day. So I might be free, but I didn't want to commit to it.
All right. So we'll try and get that plot wrapped up or to a satisfying conclusion if we can. Mm-hmm. So let's fast forward then to slightly before midnight, I suppose. Mm-hmm. Did someone tell Diane to go to the lake? Or is Diane going to be at the lake?
Oh, yeah, she's going. I don't think anyone told her, but she's definitely going on her own because she's got a lot of weird vibes about the lake.
Mm.
Maybe if she noticed her spell book is missing, she figures Agatha picked it up.
That makes sense, yeah.
Do you have to have a lake permission to have rituals done in the lake that has to go through the city municipal government?
Yeah, is the diving permit in order?
Probably not. Agatha's not really a ritual in the middle of the lake kind of person, so hasn't really
that's why it's really suspicious.
Doesn't know the nuances. Yeah.
And Bertram's going to the lake.
I mean, she just figured that, like anything else, it's the lake. You could just go to the lake and do lake stuff there.
Yup. All right. So who gets to the lake first?
Well, I assume Amelia wants to get there early, so everything is in place. Cool. Agatha is probably there with her, not helping too much, because Amelia is doing all of her stuff. And if we move off of the crankiness of the spell book, the spell book may be like considering other options, like maybe Diane doesn't have to be his person anymore.
Is this
and like Agatha's not like, it hasn't talked to Agatha yet, but there's something about it that makes Agatha want to like pick it up and read it and stuff like that. So she's thumbing through the spell book.
And the spell book was angry with Diane, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
How is there something in the spellbook that will help with the hexed car situation?
Ooh, yeah, I think like when you first open the book, the first page you open it to is like how to transfer a hex from your car to your terrible roommate.
Amazing.
Agatha's like, wow, what is this book? But she is suddenly very intrigued by all of that. And okay, she's not really sure that Amelia deserves hexing. I mean, she respects that Amelia is in a very difficult situation, having been disappeared for 100 years. But better her than me. So she will sort of quietly start to like, read through that. Okay, yeah, that I can get. And that, oh, I think there's some of that in that bin over there. Yeah. So
I think Tillie will show up probably driving like some sort of small car, like a VW Beetle or something, park next to the John Denver truck, and get out holding onto one of those like a four those like trays where you put the drinks in when you go from drive-thrus, and I think it has maybe 4 drinks. Let's say she's dreaming about multiple people being here. And she'll just hand one over to Agatha. Is Amelia in the car, or is Amelia doing preparations in the lake?
I think Amelia's doing preparations, like drawing circles down by the water and that sort of thing, and chanting and skipping around.
So your roommate. She looks a lot like someone who should be dead.
Agatha reaches over, grabs the magazine that has the headline about Amelia Earhart and the big picture of Amelia on the cover. Hand over to Tillie.
So is she the real Amelia Earhart? Because I've been having these weird dreams.
Kind of like, you've been having weird dreams? What?
I've been having weird dreams, and she's been in them, and I was thinking that if she were dead, she was haunting me, but if she's not dead, then she can't be haunting me.
Yeah, I mean, nothing I have read about the history of Amelia Earhart led me to believe that she knew how to do rituals in the middle of the lake. But I don't know, maybe they just don't mention that. So like, I don't know if it's actually her, or if it's something pretending to be her. I know she's trapped in town and she's trying to get out. And I don't know, like, she'd be a fine roommate if like she could put this weird obsession behind her. Well, it's not weird though, because who wants to be trapped in this town? So I get it. But like, she totally broke my coffee maker and has not replaced it. But it's just like a complete roommate foul.
But what if the town is here to keep her in? What if she's a malevolent Amelia Earhart?
I don't know. This is not my wheelhouse.
Okay.
Do we have any way of knowing? Like, she tells cute stories about Charles Lindbergh, but like, how do I know if those are real?
I feel like Diane would know. Diane knows everything. Diane spends all that time in the library.
It's true.
I guess Bertram might know too, but I don't know what Bertram really does aside from be the librarian.
Well, I don't know. I saw Diane earlier today, and she was kind of weirded out by this whole thing, and then ran off out of the store, and it was very strange. So I don't know. Unless you invited her, who's the 4th coffee for?
I just had a feeling. Like I said, I've had weird dreams recently.
Okay. Is that a new thing for you?
I feel like it kind of started around when you started saying that you had a roommate.
Oh. So you think Amelia might, in fact, be haunting you or something?
Yeah.
Some sort of dream thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she picks up the spell book again. She says, last time I opened up, it gave me a really good advice for a hex I was dealing with. So let's see if it knows whether or not Amelia Earhart is haunting you or something. And so she just opens up the book again.
I feel like there's a goth roll or something involving the spell book.
Okay.
Cal, were you gonna say something?
No, goth roll sounds great.
Goth roll. And who needs goth when you roll like that? 10.
Ooh, nice. Keeping it a success?
I don't see why not.
All right. What do you find in this spellbook then?
The spell book has a spell called the identification and containment of mid-level demons.
Fun.
And Agatha goes, huh. Shows it to Tillie. Well, this is the spell it thinks we ought to know right now.
So Tillie looks over at where Amelia's doing something in the water. Looks back at the spell book. So
well, I guess she's a demon. That's what it's kind of trying to tell us. Oh, there's an identification part. We can check if she's a demon, and if so, we advance to page 2, as it says here. Okay.
I feel like this would be a good time for Diane to show up and see us poring over this spell book. Maybe.
I think it's a great idea. Yeah, I think yeah, Diane will just like suddenly yell out from the shadows, "Aha! I knew you stole my book. You're just a pawn in Amelia Earhart's schemes, aren't you?"
And Agatha says, "Hey, Diane,
Tillie
you dropped this when you
Wait, this is your
ran
book?
out of the Triple B like a maniac."
Sure.
This is a really cool book. Where did you get it?
Oh, like you don't know. Like Amelia hasn't told you all about my ancestral grimoire.
Ooh, ancestral grimoires. Okay. Well, I suppose
Diane,
if it
you
really
were lying
is
to me?
Yes. Absolutely.
Wait, you're lying to us? You're lying to us about this being your ancestral grimoire?
No, I lied to Tillie about not having a talking spell book. It's hard to explain, okay?
You have a talking spell. Is this your talking spell book?
Yes.
It hasn't talked yet. It's really great, though. I like it a lot.
Tillie is just going to grab Diane's arm. Diane, I need this spell book.
we can't just hand it over to Nancy. It's I'm pretty sure it's evil. It's always telling me to like hex people and curse people. It's who knows what Nancy will do with it. And I already don't trust her because she's got all those like squirrels that listen to her.
She's gonna use the spellbook to save me.
We don't need Nancy to save you. I can save you, Tillie. It'll be fine.
Wait, what do you need saving from? This is about the dreams?
I've been getting weird threats recently, and then I saw another version of myself outside the coffee shop, and I'm worried, and I don't know what this has to do with Amelia Earhart or why she's here, but I need this spell book once we're done with using it.
Fine, but I need it right back.
Okay, it's been showing me some really good spells, so I'm just gonna take pictures of them really quick before we keep going. You don't mind, don't you? And she like taps the spell book nicely. It helpfully opens to the correct page. She takes out her cell phone and takes a picture of the John Denver fixing spell, and then goes on to the demon one. Like, Diane, do you know
spells show up on phones?
I don't know. It's what Agatha does. And yeah, I suspect it depends on how much the spellbook wants them to show up on phones. So she says, okay, so Diane, we think. So we were wondering if Amelia Earhart over there is actually Amelia Earhart and what that even means, or if she's pretending to be Amelia Earhart or like an evil version of Amelia Earhart or whatever. And the book opened up to this page, and she shows you the thing about the identification and containment of mid-level demons.
Oh, that's definitely Amelia Earhart. I'd know her anywhere.
So she's not a demon.
Well, she might also be a demon. I haven't checked.
Oh, okay. So how about we do that? Like, do we care if she's a demon actually? Like, is that? I know they have a bad rep, but like, does that matter? She did ruin my coffee pot.
Well,
Agatha, are you ready? We need to start the ritual. I mean, the swimming thing.
Okay, yeah, I got that. I've got the scuba gear on under my clothes. Give me a second. So what does this ritual do again exactly?
Oh, it's just to attune the. Yeah, I told you before. It's just about the ley lines and such things.
Yeah, so like you can leave the town, right? Because otherwise you're bound to this place.
Who told you that?
I thought that's how it worked. Didn't you say that? I thought you said that.
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm sure I did. What's she doing here?
I've come to stop your foul ritual. I'll never let you escape this place.
Oh, you sorceress! I will escape from here, and I'm not sure I want to define what Amelia's deal is. So if anyone wants to, one of you who's more involved with her wants to decide that.
I don't know. I think
she's your antagonist, and you're playing next week, and I'm not. So, though possibly we're dealing with Amelia Earhart this week. That doesn't matter.
I don't know. I think it's probably just a feud between my family and hers. It doesn't necessarily have to be evil.
Oh my
it's just
gosh.
that,
Yeah. Oh, I will escape, and I will travel back and make sure you're never born, you pernicious little enchantress.
I think I want Tillie to take out her knitting needles that have been in her purse, and she is going to try to fling them at Amelia Earhart. Because I think she says something like, "Wait, no, you can't say things like that. Diane's my friend. Don't call her a pernicious sorceress. You're the one that showed up randomly and started invading our dreams and Agatha's coffee pot." And that will be I think it's a physical jock roll, which is going to go so well.
Sounds like it.
Just go ahead and look. Okay, that's an 8. So I think it's like I managed to fling the knitting needles, but what's the complication?
You miss Amelia Earhart, but you pierce the scuba tank on her back.
Very cool. Other things that could happen?
Maybe you hit her, but she like stumbles backwards into the lake, so your knitting needles are kind of temporarily lost.
Wish I didn't have a project I was currently working on with those.
Damn it. Now it's going to be the wrong gauge.
Ideas? Yeah.
You hit her, but it only makes her stronger as she morphs into something, I don't know, some sort of lake creature.
Maybe you like hit her, but you also disrupt the like magical energies or something. So
okay. What if the enchanted knitting needles or whatever hit Amelia Earhart, and they're like metal, and maybe the ley lines are spawned to metal, and it disrupts the magical energy of the lake, and some things that are in this lake that maybe shouldn't have been in this lake start to come out of the lake. And this is how we see maybe there's a creature that looks a lot like Bertram coming out. If that's okay.
Yeah, it sounds great. Like covered in seaweed and but still in his tweed costume. Tweed
Yeah.
suit.
Is this when real Bertram also shows up, just as other Bertram starts to emerge?
Yeah, that sounds good. I think Bertram is just walking down towards where you are you've just noticed that he's there when the creature crawls out of the lake, just so he can't get away without you noticing. What's going on here? What's all this? Ah! Ugh!
Bertram? Wait, Bertram?
Bertram and Lake Zombie Bertram?
What? No, that's not me. That's something else. We should run away now. It's probably dangerous.
We have to stop Amelia Earhart from doing whatever it is that she's doing, but now there's other things coming out of the lake. Diane, you know what? You have magic? Strong magic, apparently.
Sorry, were you talking to me?
Yeah.
Sorry. Diane is just like, oh, I have no idea what's going on.
What does the spell book say?
Oh, you have a spell book? Give that to me. And I think Bertram tries to grab the book and just start looking for some kind of spell to do something.
So if you're trying to grab the book from Agatha, you could make it a roll, like an action against another PC, depending on if Agatha wants to just give you the book or not.
Mm-hmm. I think Agatha is not inclined to have things just grabbed from her.
Yeah.
So
convincing her to give it to you probably wouldn't be that hard, but this grabbiness thing is not her style.
Yeah. But Bertram is not in a talking mood right now. He's trying to get things. So let's see. Bertram and Jock, and I tick the thing, and it's a 5.
All right. You can make it move up if you want to spend a token.
Nah, I think Bertram grabs for the book, but or my suggestion would be that Agatha pulls it away and he just flops to the ground, completely failing to grab it. Maybe rolling down towards the lake.
Oh, no. Yeah, Agatha or Marley gets to decide what happened since that was a roll against her.
Yeah. So Bertram grabs for the book, and the book doubles down on its decision to stay with Agatha. And so, like, let's see what happens. The runes on the cover start to get traceries of light around it, and as Bertram touches it, it zaps him, and then the lights flicker out as he gets dramatically pushed back in that movies action movie sort of way,
rolling towards the lake.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's all this? Oh no, get away!
Let's see. What happened to Amelia? Is she underwater, floating? Is she gone?
You hit her with the knitting needles, right?
Right. Or yeah.
Maybe she just vanished into the lake.
Ooh. And the knitting needles disrupted the ley lines, which led to fake Bertram coming out. And in the chaos of that, we lost Amelia.
Yeah, we don't know where she is.
And Lake Bertram is...
Forgot we still had Lake.
What happened to Lake Bertram?
I think he's kind of crawling, stumbling up from the water towards real Bertram. And real Bertram is kind of paralyzed with fear right now.
Oh, go ahead.
I think Diane just kind of wants this very weird night to be over, so she's just going to try to push one of the Bertram into the other to see if, I don't know, they'll cancel out or something.
Oh, do magic. Can you do magic?
I can try, but it's not going to be much better than my jock roll.
All right. I think, yeah, Tillie's, as you're doing that, Tillie's gonna run over to Agatha with the spell book and be like, does it say anything about what to do when there are two of you?
Agatha will check. Goth rule it is. $11. Who needs stats? She flips it open, and Agatha, and it comes open to a page, to a spell called On the Resolution of Multiple Persons, Magical, Physical, clones, doppelgangers, illusions, and whatnot. And it's like, oh yeah, it's okay. What we got? We've got okay. It looks like that red pot over there. Oh look, yes, the red pot over there. We need some of that. And yeah, it looks like we draw a circle around both of them and then sprinkle some of this stuff around, and then there's some chanting-y bits.
And what's happening with Diane? Mm-hmm. Pushing Bertram 1 into Bertram 2. Oh no, my internet.
Oh.
I think there was some distortion. I'm not sure. Kyle, did you hear what?
Sorry, no, I missed that.
Oh, I was wondering, as Agatha was reading through the spell book, what was happening with Bertram 1 Diane pushing Bertram 1 into Bertram 2.
Yeah, I failed that roll. So.
Oh, great. What did that failure look like?
Do I answer that question, or?
I guess it's any of us then. Are they just grappling?
Yeah, maybe all three of them are kind of grappling.
Yeah, it might just be a messy three-way grapple thing.
Okay. So I guess Agatha and Tillie have the spell book. Do we have to make a circle around them?
Yeah. Oh, look, there's a footnote that if there's other people involved, we have to modify it this way, but we can draw the circle around all of them, apparently.
Okay. I'll do that. We'll do that. What's the chanting?
Yeah, chanting right here, these words.
Cool.
It's some sort of pseudo-Latin goofiness. I don't know. This is really not what I do. Oh, look, there's phonetic pronunciation. This book is so great.
All right, I guess we have to do this to save them.
Yes.
Which of us is gonna roll goth?
Okay, who is that more? Oh, that me. Wow, that goes to goth Bertram, and he is the one person who cannot do this. Okay, so ritual things happen, and Agatha tries to make it work and has a 7.
All right.
Is that near a point? Nope.
That is enough that it succeeds, but everyone can do a complication. You can raise it to a 10 with a token.
I can raise it to a 10 with a token? Okay.
Yep.
I am willing to do that on that spend them if you got them kind of notion. But the thing I was going to suggest to Kyle, which he may accept if he wants, is that the complication is that this is the book getting its revenge upon Diane. And that the spell is not actually just going to separate Diane very fluidly and like not affect her. It's going to have some sort of weird side effect.
That sounds awesome.
Okay, I thought you might like that.
Nice.
Okay, 7 it is.
All right. Yeah, I don't know if I can add to that, but I like that complication.
Okay, so Tillie and Agatha do the ritual, and it's all very dramatic, and Agatha is pronouncing the stuff as best they can, but it's actually very clearly written. There's like pictograms and stuff. This book is amazing. It's like it can be really helpful when it wants to be, which says something about its relationship with Diane. So they finish the ritual, and I don't know. Do each of Anders and Kyle want to narrate what happens to their characters?
Sure, I can describe what happens to Diane. Do you want to go first, though?
Yeah, I think maybe like the two Bertrams merge. So what's left, and it's this typical movie effect thing when two things, sort of blend in together. And what's left is one Bertram, and his suit is kind of damp, and he's got some seaweed like hanging off of him, but it doesn't look like he's been at the bottom of the lake. But it's not clear which one it was that really disappeared.
I think Diane got kind of fused with the lake a bit, so now like her body is made out of water with like bits of seaweed and stuff floating around, and she's like, what happened to me?
Amazing. I think maybe since we're running out of time, those are closing shots for Bertram and Diane for this session. Agatha, do you want to have a closing shot, or even as we leave the lake, what does Agatha look like, or what is happening to Agatha?
Agatha looks back at the possible Bertram monster and at Diane, who's wandering around as the strange fluid monster. And she shrugs and says, "Close enough." And she tucks the book under her elbow and gets up to leave.
Amazing. I think our closing shot of Tillie is she's like on her hands and knees next to the shore of the lake and is like looking for her knitting needles. And then out of the corner of her eye sees Agatha running off or walking off with the book under her arm, and it's just like, but wait, and probably the credits start to roll. If that works for everyone. Cool. So that's the session of Unincorporated. Has been 3 hours. If people have time, we can do Stars and Wishes, and then we will meet again, or most of us will meet again next week. So if you have to leave, that's fine. And I'll just do Stars and Wishes off the recording too. So bye, random people who may or may not watch this. I don't know. It's the internet.